Hi, you're watching New Time on Silkway TV. This week we take you to the heart of the stories shaping Kazakhstan, Central Asia and the world. From high-stakes politics to economic shifts. We break down the headlines, add context and bring you insight from leading experts across the region and beyond. I am Yergali Ramazanule and here's what's coming up. The Czech Republic signals a possible shift for Kazakh travelers pushing for easier visa access. In Astana, the Czech Prime Minister makes his first official visit. From energy to logistics, the agenda is wide. More on this in a moment. Central Asia enters the global tech circuit. For the first time, GTEC's Global AI arrives in the region, with Almaty set to host startups, investors and tech giants. Can this forum turn ambition into real digital momentum? More than $500 million is on the table. At Horgost, construction begins on a major new complex at one of the region's busiest crossroads. A major hub in the making. A New Time reporter is on the ground. Kazakhstan is once again positioning itself at the crossroads of diplomacy in the Middle East. Speaking at the Akorda presidential palace, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev said Astana could soon host an official ceremony marking its accession to the Abraham Accords, a move that would signal a new level of regional engagement. Welcoming Israeli President Isaac Herzog, the two sides pointed to steadily expanding ties with ambitions to triple bilateral trade and launch direct flights between Kazakhstan and Israel. What was agreed behind closed doors and what it could mean for the region in our next report. Israel and Kazakhstan have steadily built a strong and dynamic partnership since establishing diplomatic ties in 1992, translating into tangible cooperation across both economic and political spheres. Isaac Herzog arrived in Astana to take that dialogue further, with a focus on deepening bilateral economic ties and unlocking new areas of growth. The Abraham Accords also came into focus, a set of agreements aimed at normalizing relations between countries in the Middle East and seen as a platform for greater regional stability and economic cooperation. Kazakhstan joined after President Tokayev first raised this idea during his visit to Washington last November. This move reflects Kazakhstan's national interests and its commitment to dialogue as the key path to easing tensions in the Middle East.
Kazakhstan, as far as you know, is committed to the decision which was made earlier, and we believe that an official ceremony of joining to the Abraham Accords may take place here in Astana sometime later. And also one thing I would like to mention, it's about, first of all, our interest in developing or enhancing contacts on such important matter like artificial intelligence, digitalization. This year in Kazakhstan was proclaimed as the year of digitalization and artificial intelligence. I'm focusing on this particular matter.
During both the narrow and expanded format talks, Isaac Herzog noted with satisfaction the steady and forward-looking development of cooperation between Kazakhstan and Israel.
I would like to put a focus on how can we double and triple and much more the volume of business and trade between our nations. You know, there are practical steps that can enhance them dramatically. I think direct flights can have a huge impact on business and trade. We are not far away from completing a double taxation treaty. With a little push, it can be completed. It helps investors come along and do business.
To wrap up the visit, the high-profile guest was introduced to Kazakhstan's growing ambitions in artificial intelligence. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev and Isaac Herzog toured the Alem AI Center, a hub designed to cover the full innovation cycle, from identifying and training young talent to scaling AI solutions globally. For Israel, widely seen as one of the world's leaders in artificial intelligence and high-tech, the visit opens the door to deeper, more practical cooperation. Both sides are now looking to combine expertise, accelerate innovation, and turn this partnership into tangible results in one of the most competitive sectors of the global economy.
There are lots of things to learn from each other, and we have discussed a number of cooperation and interactions in cybersec space, as well as AI initiatives and some other technological matters. And we've had a round table today with the President of Israel and shared experiences in terms of legislative initiatives, as well as human capital development programs that we can share with Israel. So we are planning a visit, big visit to Israel. It was a first touch and the first roundtable with them. And I think that we'll be cooperating and interacting more and more in the forthcoming future.
Both sides agreed to maintain a regular political dialogue, expand contacts at all levels, and work together to elevate the partnership to a new, more substantive level. Yergali Ramazanula, New Time. The Czech Republic is signaling a potential breakthrough for Kazakh travelers, pledging to push for easier visa access, both bilaterally and within the European Union. At the Akorda Presidential Palace, the official agenda continued with the first ever official visit of the Czech Prime Minister Andrej Babiš, who described the trip as a starting point for taking bilateral relations to a new level. From industry and oil and gas to nuclear energy, transport and logistics, the two sides outlined a wide range of promising areas for cooperation. More on the key agreements and what they mean for both countries coming up next. Andrej Babiš's relationship with Kazakhstan goes back almost 50 years. During one-on-one talks with Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, the Czech Prime Minister recalled his early career when he worked in a department that cooperated with Shymkent and Zhambyl. But his interest in Kazakhstan goes far beyond personal history. The two countries share a strong sense of momentum and, most importantly, a clear ambition to deepen cooperation across a wide range of sectors.
Our trade has been developing very well. Both peoples are very much eager to be together, and our diplomatic services stay in touch in major international organizations. It's very good. Taking this opportunity, I also would like to express my appreciation to you for having brought a very representative businessman delegation to Kazakhstan. It's very much important. And yesterday, as far as I know, there was a business forum here that came out to be a real success. And as president of this country, of course, I'll be doing my utmost in order to make sure that our cooperation in a variety of areas will be successfully developing.
Of course, Kazakhstan is a country which is very important concerning energy, and you are the biggest producer of uranium, and I am happy that we concluded this contract because, of course, nuclear power plant are for us very important. So I was very much impressed how you are advanced in AI. It's unbelievable, this centrum, young people, a lot of startups. We have so much in common, and it's a great moment for our new government, which, of course, will do our best to accelerate and intensify our relations.
The Prime Minister confirmed that Czech companies are ready to take part in joint energy projects in Kazakhstan. The country remains one of our key trading partners within the European Union. Both sides discussed expanding cooperation across a wide range of sectors, from industry and oil and gas to nuclear energy, transport, digitalization, agriculture and healthcare. Trade is also on the rise, with more than 190 Czech companies currently operating in Kazakhstan, including major investors. But as highlighted during the expanded talks, the relationship goes beyond economics. It's rooted in shared history and strong cultural ties. That's why President Tokayev recognized Andrej Babiš's contribution to strengthening this strategic partnership with a special state award.
You're a trusted friend of Kazakhstan and a distinguished statesman of international scale. I appreciate your pragmatic and result-oriented approach to advancing our relations. Owing much to your tireless efforts and unwavering personal commitment, we look to the future of our cooperation with great optimism and new aspiration. Given your outstanding contribution to the development of political, trade, economic, and cultural humanitarian cooperation between our nations, I have decided to award you the Order of Dostok of the first degree.
Prime Minister of the Czech Republic, Andrej Babiš, is awarded the Order of Dostojk of the first degree.
Wrapping up the talks, the two sides agreed to compile a list of concrete projects to turn high-level agreements into practical results. The Czech Prime Minister also signaled Prague's readiness to support easier visa access for Kazakh citizens, both bilaterally and within the EU. Beyond economics, President Tokayev expressed special gratitude for the Czech Republic's role in the reintroduction of the Przewalski's horse to the Kazakh steppe. This landmark biodiversity project was highlighted at a recent regional environmental summit. The meeting concluded on a diplomatic note, with Andrej Babiš inviting the Kazakh president to visit the Czech Republic, an invitation that was accepted with appreciation. Yergali Ramazanula, New Time. A first visit shaped by very practical interests, energy supplies and new deals. As Andrej Babiš, the Czech Prime Minister, arrives in Kazakhstan, the focus is not just on diplomacy, but on securing concrete agreements. From uranium cooperation to the possibility of direct crude oil deliveries. What exactly is Prague looking for in this dialogue, and what role could Kazakhstan play? My colleague Aynur Imangali spoke exclusively with the Prime Minister. Here's a preview.
Our strategy is, of course, to enlarge the investing in Temelin. And we are happy that we have concluded with your company Kazatomprom the contract with our company ČEZ. And of course, Kazakhstan is #1 worldwide in production of uranium. So we see there a big potential to cooperate. So energy, not only uranium, but also crude oil. You are a very important supplier to Czech Republic. So that's why I see a big potential of cooperation with Kazakhstan.
What are you aiming at in the discussions, in the energy dialogue with Kazakhstan, to take out for your country right now?
We have discussed it, and I think I understood that there could be a good cooperation, and Kazakhstan would be ready to supply crude oil. So Czech Republic, the refineries in Czech Republic belongs to Polish group Pick and Orlen, but we are discussing some cooperation with a German refinery, Leuna, which is owned by Total. And there we see the possibility also maybe to process your crude oil. So we are just, and we are very happy that there is a will on your side to be potentially directly our supplier.
Scan the QR code below to watch the full interview with Andrej Babiš on our YouTube channel, where he shares his thoughts on Kazakhstan's energy potential, investment climate, and the future of Czech-Kazakh cooperation. Our country has begun preparations for the upcoming Central Asia-Japan Leaders Summit, set to take place in Astana next year. President Tokayev shared the plans during a meeting at the Accorda with Yasutoshi Nishimura, the newly appointed head of the Japan-Kazakhstan Parliamentary Friendship League. The first summit of this kind was successfully held last year in Tokyo. Japan remains one of Kazakhstan's key partners in Asia. During the president's visit to Japan in 2025, the two sides signed 17 intergovernmental agreements, while business representatives concluded more than 60 deals worth $3.7 billion. Nishimura reaffirmed the Japanese parliament's readiness to expand multifaceted cooperation with Kazakhstan. In recognition of his contribution to strengthening bilateral ties and interparliamentary relations, Tokayev awarded Yasutoshi Nishimura the Order of Dostojk First Class. Kazakhstan is exploring joint opportunities with NVIDIA and Firebird AI to develop its artificial intelligence ecosystem. The discussions took place during a meeting between Kassym-Jomart Tokayev and representatives of those two companies. President Tokayev said Kazakhstan aims to become a fully digital country within the next 3 years. He noted that the launch of supercomputing clusters powered by NVIDIA technologies marks a major step toward that goal and toward strengthening the country's technological technological sovereignty. The sides also discussed potential cooperation in the design, construction and operation of AI infrastructure.
Energy, chips and the total AI infrastructure stack is extremely important and will be essential infrastructure for the foreseeable future. And as part of the meeting, we discussed how we could bring more AI infrastructure to Kazakhstan to enable the vision that the president has laid out. The president has assembled an extremely great cabinet with advisors and people surrounding him, all the way down to the startups, to the universities, and also to the enterprises of Kazakhstan. Everybody wants to drive innovation and implement AI technology to advance and bring the economy forward.
Late April is bringing a fresh wave of developments across Kazakhstan and Central Asia, from major investment deals to infrastructure expansion and digital transformation. Let's take a closer look in our weekly segment, Central Asia in Focus. My colleague Almir Amirov joins me now. Almir, good to see you. What's leading the agenda this week?
Good to see you, Yergali. You're right, it's been a very active week. We're seeing strong signals of economic momentum across the region, from large-scale international investments to new reforms aimed at improving business and logistics environments. Let me walk you through the key developments. Let's start with infrastructure and logistics. Kazakhstan is set to significantly reduce border crossing times from 4 hours to just 30 minutes with the launch of the Smart Cargo digital platform. The system integrates customs, logistics, and government services into a single digital window, allowing cargo documentation to be processed faster and more efficiently. Using technologies such as QR-based digital transport passports, real-time tracking, and automated declarations, the platform minimizes paperwork and simplifies procedures for logistics operations. As a result, processing times at checkpoints could drop to just minutes, boosting transport speed and strengthening Kazakhstan's position as a key logistics hub in Eurasia. And looking to Kyrgyzstan, there is also very interesting developments. For example, the country has begun building the strategic Barksun-Badel Highway, a new transport artery that will connect the southern shore of Issyk-Kul with the border crossing point to China. The road stretches around 150 kilometers through mountain terrain and includes the construction of tunnels, dozens of bridges, and protective infrastructure. The project is expected to boost transit capacity, speed up cargo transportation, and strengthen trade links between Kyrgyzstan and China. Once completed, their route will provide an alternative corridor to existing border crossings. Moving to the Central Asian economy, the World Bank has invested $1 billion in the projects in Central Asia. This was announced by Valerie Hickey, Director for Environment at the World Bank Group, while speaking at an ecological summit in Astana. According to her, Central Asia is now emerging as one of the global leaders, not only in terms of declared climate commitments, but also in their practical implementation. Hickey emphasized that this helps reduce the burden of state budgets when developing infrastructure, including in the energy and water sectors.
We are very proud to be part of 3 such initiatives. We have invested $1 billion in our projects in Central Asia. We're also very pleased to invest an additional $300 million, which will help create new value chains, improve land productivity, and protect biodiversity.
Earlier, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of National Economy Serik Zhomangarin held a meeting in Washington, D.C. with Antonella Bassani, the Vice President of the World Bank for Europe and Central Asia, and representatives of the World Bank Group. Over 33 years of cooperation, more than 50 projects worth $8 billion have been implemented across transport, education, environment protection, green technologies, and digitalization. Meanwhile, neighboring Uzbekistan making a major step toward global financial markets. Uzbekistan is set to launch an initial public offering of its National Investment Fund, offering up to 30% of its portfolio to investors. The placement is expected to take place on both the Tashkent and London stock exchanges, marking the country's first large-scale entry into the international capital markets. The fund, established in 2024, manages stakes ranging from 25 to 30% in key state-owned companies, including Uzbekistan Airways and Uzbek Telecom, among others. Major global asset managers, including BlackRock and Franklin Resources, are expected to act as an anchor investor. They have committed to purchasing up to $300 million worth of shares as part of the upcoming listing. Its total asset value is estimated at around $2.4 billion. The IPO is part of Uzbekistan's broader economic reform agenda, aimed at attracting foreign investment and accelerating the privatization of the state assets. As Uzbekistan opened its capital markets to global investors, other countries in the region are also working to improve their attractiveness, not through financial instruments, but by opening more favorable conditions for people and talent to move and work across borders. Foreigners in Kyrgyzstan may soon find it easier to obtain residence permit, as authorities propose changes aimed at simplifying procedures and reducing bureaucracy. Under the planned reforms, the government intends to revise the rules for issuing residence permits, expanding the list of eligible applicants, and easing documentation requirements. The initiative is designed to make the country more attractive for investors, specialists, and those with legal sources of income. Officials say the changes will streamline migration process, cut processing times, and create more flexible conditions for foreigners wishing to live and work in the country. If approved, the updated system is expected to improve the overall investment climate and support economic development by encouraging more foreign nationals to settle in Kyrgyzstan. And that's all from me, Yergali.
Thanks, Almir Amirov, with recent updates in Central Asia in focus. More than $4 billion in green investments, dozens of international agreements, and the unified regional strategy through 2030. These are the key outcomes of the Regional Ecological Summit in Astana. The forum brought together over 9,000 participants, including 8 heads of state, making it the largest environmental platform in Central Asia in recent years. The discussions are over, and now it's time to look at the results. My colleague Almir Amirov drew the final line.
The Regional Ecological Summit in Astana has drawn global attention, bringing together major investments, international organization, and a large-scale green technology expo. But most importantly, delivered something that the region has long been waiting for: concrete solutions. At the plenary session, leaders of Central Asia countries were joined by the Prime Minister of Azerbaijan, the presidents of Georgia and Mongolia, as well as Armenia, who spent his birthday on the sidelines of the summit.
President of Armenia, Vahan Khachaturian, who is celebrating his birthday today. My congratulations to you.
The 5 Central Asian countries signed the summit's key outcome document. The Central Asian Environmental Solidarity Declaration is political commitment by 5 regional states to act collectively, tackling desertification, air pollution, land degradation, and water scarcity. The Regional Action Program through 2030 outlined a clear roadmap with specific projects and timelines. The Astana Declaration, adopted within the framework of International Fund for Saving the Aral Sea, marks the conclusion of Kazakhstan's 3-year chairmanship. One of its landmark achievements, March 26 has now been officially designated as the International Day of the Aral Sea. In his speech, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev outlined that collective action will help the region address these challenges.
Central Asia and neighboring regions face common ecological challenges. Among them are as follows: water scarcity and its poor management, desertification, glacier retreat, air pollution, biodiversity's vulnerability. I intentionally name all major problems and challenges and uncover their essence because I strongly believe that this is precisely how we can collectively achieve positive results in addressing them.
The central issue of the summit was water. According to the United Nations, by 2030, the world could face a freshwater deficit of up to 40%. Central Asia is already experiencing this reality. Glaciers in the Tian Shan are melting, the level of Issyk-Kul has dropped by 14 meters over the recent decades, and outdated Soviet-era water management systems are no longer sufficient. Kazakhstan has proposed a concrete response, the creation of an international water organization under the auspices of the United Nations. Initial consultation took place in Astana.
We're very excited for everything that Kazakhstan has done for water governance and international water governance for years, starting with the One Water Summit together with France that Kazakhstan supported. We think having dialogue around international water governance, how to think about water, it is a shared resource, whether we're talking about rivers, whether we're talking about groundwater, whether we're talking about the ocean.
Investment deals were also signed on the sidelines of the summit. Within the RES Expo loan, 17 agreements worth $2.3 billion were concluded. Separately, the Development Bank of Kazakhstan finalized additional deals totaling $2 billion. That brings the total to over $4 billion in commitments in just 3 days. One of the flagship projects is a 500-megawatt wind power plant in Karaganda region, enough to supply electricity to around 300,000 households. In addition, renewable energy facilities with a total capacity of up to 2 gigawatts are planned across the country.
We signed more than 15 contracts worth $2.3 billion that already speaks volumes. We also secured $1.9 billion from the Green Climate Fund. The rest are projects to be implemented in Kazakhstan, meaning new jobs, cleaner air, cleaner water and new tree planting initiatives.
3 days, 9 heads of state, 9,000 participants from 50 countries. The Aral Sea was once considered beyond saving. Today, 36% of the northern Aral has been restored. A reminder that with a political will, even the impossible can become a reality. Almir Amirov, New Time.
If last week's agenda was focused on environmental issues, the spotlight is now shifting towards technology and digital transformation. Next week, Almaty will host JETEX AI, the region's first large-scale tech forum of this kind, bringing together Central Asia and the Caucasus on a single platform. Part of a global network, JETEX is already held in major international hubs: in Dubai, in Berlin for the European edition, in Morocco representing Africa, or Singapore for the East Asia. Now, for the first time, the forum is coming to Central Asia, with Almaty selected as its regional host. The event, scheduled for May 4th and 5th, is expected to gather startups, investors, government officials, and global tech companies. Its goal is to accelerate digital transformation, advance artificial intelligence, and attract international investment to the region. The arrival of JETEX in Kazakhstan signals the country's growing role as a regional technology hub.
It's a regional, truly international technological forum that will be hosted in Kazakhstan on annual basis, and would be a good complement to Digital AI and Digital Bridge Forum, which usually takes place in Astana in September, October. So more and more delegations and tech companies will visit Kazakhstan, JETEX Forum, and will be able to present and exhibit their tech solutions.
More than $500 million in investment, Horgoz is breaking ground on one of its most ambitious projects in years. At the International Center for Boundary Cooperation, construction has officially begun on a new mixed-use complex. This project is set to become a key logistics and business hub at the crossroads of two nations. Nuray Selbek has the details.
This line marks the frontier between Kazakhstan and China, a symbolic border that is increasingly becoming the backbone of the regional trade. Today, that connection grows even stronger. In Horgoz, a foundation-laying ceremony has officially launched a large-scale mixed-use complex. Spanning 10 hectares, the site will soon house a sophisticated network of retail outlets, hotels and dining facilities. The vision behind the project is to create a business ecosystem. Investors intend for the center to serve as a professional bridge where entrepreneurs from both nations can meet, negotiate and sign multi-million-dollar contracts, all within a single integrated space.
Kazakhstan'ın Қытайға деген тауарларға қызығушылығының көп тануына байланысты.
Due to the growing recognition and demand of Chinese goods in Kazakhstan, as well as the aim of creating a space where people can spend their time productively, we believe the central will attract a strong flow of visitors and entrepreneurs. Overall, this can be seen as a continuation of the strengthening relations between Kazakhstan and China.
Әрі қарай жалғасу деп тануға болады.
The project named Friendship Park marks a significant expansion for Khargos, featuring dedicated pavilions for producers from 14 regions of Kazakhstan and all 34 regions of China. It is also a strategic move to elevate Khargos from a local trade zone into high-stake international business arena.
Our infrastructure plan includes state-of-the-art terminals and expansive warehouses ranging from 150 to 700 square meters. By integrating specialized cold storage and logistics complexes, we are building a seamless supply chain to stabilize and grow food trade between our nations.
While the project sits on the Kazakh side of the border, the expectation is straightforward: a significant boost to the national budget through increased trade turnover and sales tax revenue.
This project is a job creator. We expect to generate roughly 1,000 new positions, employing a diverse workforce of both Chinese specialists and Kazakhstan citizens. It is a win-win for our shared economic goals.
Construction is set to hit full gear this May. If all goes according to plan, the $500 million complex is expected to be fully operational by the end of the next year. Naraya Slabek, Akizhan Musakhan, Nurdavlet Karabayev, New Time.
On May 1st, Kazakhstan marked the Day of Unity of the People, a national holiday that reflects the country's model of inter-ethnic harmony in one of the most diverse societies in Central Asia. Home to more than 120 ethnic groups, Kazakhstan has long positioned unity and cultural coexistence as a cornerstone of its state-building strategy. For decades, the Assembly of the People of Kazakhstan has served as a key platform for dialogue, helping to coordinate ethnic communities, promote cultural diversity and maintain social stability. The institution became widely recognized as part of Kazakhstan's unique approach to managing diversity through inclusion and consensus. Today, authorities say this model is entering a new phase. Building on the Assembly's legacy, its experience and mechanisms are being integrated into a new public and political body, the Halk Kengesi, or People's Council, which is expected to play a more prominent role in shaping national dialogue and governance.
Сегодня мы, приняв новую конституцию, говорим уже о более совершенном формате работы, наверное.
Today, having adopted a new constitution, we are moving toward a more advanced format of work, as it is becoming a politically significant and influential body, the Halk Kengesi. And of course, the experience of the assembly will be taken into account within the Halk Kengesi. Overall, I would like to say that on the Day of Unity, it is important to emphasize that the true binding element of peaceful coexistence under our common Kazakh shanrak is, in fact, the people of Kazakhstan themselves.
Мирного сосуществования под одним нашим казахским шанрахом является на самом деле народ Казахстана.
Kazakhstan's evolving approach to inter-ethnic relations is often viewed as a test case for balancing diversity and political modernization. As global tensions around identity and social cohesion continue to rise, the country is positioning its updated model, now centered around the Halk Kengesi, as a more adaptive and institutionally integrated platform. And that's all for today. You can find more of the week's top stories from Kazakhstan and across Central Asia right here on Silkway TV. For deeper insights and special reports on the country, stay with our channel. Thanks for watching New Time and see you next week.